Hello, and welcome to the campus of Doak City High School. My name is Kent Wallace, and I'll be bringing you all the action as your Doak City Giraffes challenge the Nowata Possums in Game 1 of the Indiana High School football season. Well, after that agonizingly long 9-month off-season, the thrill and the passion of the Friday Night Lights are back, and once again, Doak City Radio will be your source for Giraffes football all season long. We're going to be airing every game live, home and away. That's a minimum of 10 and a maximum of 15, which is how many it'll be if we advance all the way to the state championship game on Thanksgiving weekend at world-famous Lucas Oil Stadium. And if you miss any of our broadcasts, no problem. They'll be uploaded to our webpage for you to listen to any time. Now, Doak City enters the 2020 season with a lot of question marks as they try to recover from their painful end to last season. Coming out of the class realignment, the Giraffes ended up with the highest enrollment in Class 4A, and appeared to be fairly strong state championship contenders. However, after a very promising 4-1 start, the team was derailed by an assortment of injuries, and lost its remaining 5 games, finishing at 4-6, and losing in the first round of the playoffs for the 4th consecutive season. Now, last year, Doak City rushed 323 times and passed 169, a ratio of 1.9 to 1, down from 2.7 to 1 in 2018. Senior quarterback Brady Nichols, who had never previously started a varsity game, was surprisingly effective, completing 88 out of 166 passes for 1,425 yards, 13 touchdowns, and only 4 interceptions. Nichols is now playing just a few miles down the road at Franklin College, and his replacement is junior Colin Nicewander, who has never thrown a pass in a varsity game. He's a little undersized at 5'10 and 165 pounds, but he's a very smart player and a tough competitor, and had some great moments last year with the JV team. However, the Giraffes' top 2 wide receivers from last season, both of whom are now seniors, suffered serious injuries during preseason practice. Last year, Garrett Patton caught 34 passes for 627 yards and 6 touchdowns, while Ricardo Dubecki caught 15 for 253 yards and 1 touchdown. However, Patton is going to be out for at least several weeks with a broken left hand, and Dubecki is out for the season with a torn anterior cruciate ligament in his left knee. That leaves the team without a wide receiver with much varsity experience. On the ground, Doak City appears to be in better shape. They did suffer a major loss in running back Josh Miller, who in 7 games rushed 40 times for 388 yards, nearly 10 yards a carry, and 8 touchdowns. Miller is now playing at Ball State, but the Giraffes do return their leading rusher, Jacob Maple, who last year as a sophomore burst onto the scene, rushing an even 200 times for 1,330 yards and 17 touchdowns, leading the Sycamore Conference in the latter category. So if the offense suffers no further injuries, and Nicewander builds good chemistry with his receiving corps, leaving less defensive pressure on Maple, Doak City should still be a very solid offensive team. Tonight the Giraffes will try to start off the season on a positive note, but it won't be easy, as their opponent is the Nowata Possums, a Class 6A team that is coming off a relatively rare down year, going only 3-7, but returns a whopping 17 starters, including one of the top running backs in the state, and opens the season ranked number 10 in the AP poll. Last year, the Giraffes opened the season with a thrilling 34-32 upset win at Nowata, and now the senior-dominated Possums are looking to avenge that game. Now, last year, Nowata rushed 522 times and passed 200, a ratio of 2.6 to 1. Starting quarterback Michael Vogel completed 68 of 162 passes for 728 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. He graduated, but his replacement, junior Joe Alexander, got significant playing time last year and did fairly well. In 4 games, Alexander completed 17 of 32 passes for 263 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. And the Possums return every player who caught a pass last season, led by senior Shane Anders, a very good college prospect who had 34 receptions for 519 yards and 11 touchdowns. In addition, senior Christian Brewington had 20 receptions for 235 yards and junior Todd Epperson had 12 receptions for 109 yards. On the ground, the Possums are spearheaded by senior Robert Fox, a major college prospect who last season rushed 196 times for 990 yards and 14 touchdowns and won the team MVP award. And he should also get plenty of help in the backfield from 3 other returnees. Senior Randall Hudson rushed 69 times last season for 306 yards and 2 touchdowns, while senior Marcus Mayu had 50 rushes for 295 yards, and junior TJ Sanders had 46 rushes for 186 yards and 1 touchdown. Doak City's head coach is Dave Mallard, who's 54-34 in his 9th season with the Giraffes. Nowata's head coach is John Clark, who's 136-83 in his 22nd season with the Possums. He won sectional championships back in 2010 and 2016. Well, at this time, we'll take a short pause for a few words from our sponsors, and then we'll be back with the opening kickoff. Doak City, Nowata, coming at you live under the Friday night lights. Next. The Doak City High School Athletic Department simply would not be able to operate without the financial support of our business partners. We would like to recognize and thank them for their generosity. The official health provider to the Giraffes, Doak Regional Health. Diamond Partners, Bestway Drywall and North Salem State Bank. Platinum Partners, Allen Irrigation Company, CJ's Pizza, Dunn Insurance Agency, Jill and Ian Bell's ExpertRealtors.net, and Global Construction Management. Silver Partners, Electric Plus, Bassett Services Heating and Cooling, and Clean Sensation Auto Detail, and Bronze Partner, Endeavor Communications. Thank you, business partners. Your support of the student athletes of Doak City High School is greatly appreciated. Well, back here at Doak City, we're just a few minutes away from kicking off the new season. We've got a great opening night crowd. Here in the home bleachers, we have about 1,500 fans, and across the field in the visiting bleachers, we have about 250 Nowata fans who made the trip from about an hour to the southeast. And I can see the parking lot from my vantage point here in the press box. We still have a steady stream of cars filing in to the parking lot, and we've still got some tailgating out there, which is always good to see. And anyway, it's a very pleasant evening. We have a temperature of 78 degrees under a mostly clear sky. The high temperature today here in Doak City was 84. And according to my iPhone, the temperature is expected to be 74 degrees at 8 and 70 at 9. So we should have a very pleasant evening for the fans here. Tonight's game is one of 5 home games for the Giraffes this season. They'll also be here at Doak City in weeks 3, 4, 6, and 8. They'll be on the road, of course, in the other 4 games. This is also one of 3 non-conference games on the schedule. The next one will be a week from tonight out at cross-county rival Blackford, and then 3 weeks from tonight in week 4 as we host the always tough St. Basil's Crusaders, 8-time state champions. I'll tell you, I talked earlier this week with Doak City head coach Dave Mallard, and our main topic of conversation was developing this new offense. You know, anytime your starting quarterback has never started a game before and you don't have a wide receiver who has much varsity experience, and on top of that, you've lost a running back who's now playing for a Division I school, that's Josh Miller at Ball State, you always have a lot of question marks. But, you know, one thing that has always impressed me about Coach Mallard is his ability to change his offense based on his personnel. You know, over the years that I've been commentating, I've noticed that when I commentate a particular coach, no matter who the personnel is, usually they run just about the same offense. But with Coach Mallard, he changes it a lot from year to year. You know, you go back just 2 years ago, and the starting quarterback, Jacob J., didn't throw a lot, and he was handing the ball literally about 2 out of every 3 plays to that sensational running back, Austin Blevins, who was a senior, and accounted for about 60% of our total yards from scrimmage. And then last year, with Blevins gone, we had a radically different looking offense and one that was much more balanced. Like I said in the first segment, Brady Nichols, last season's starting quarterback, had never started a varsity game before. And then the player who turned out to be our leading rusher, Jacob Maple, was only a sophomore. And our second leading rusher, Josh Miller, like I said, now at Ball State, though he was a senior, he had barely played varsity ball up to that point because Austin Blevins had been getting the bulk of the carries. And yet the team had that red-hot 4-1 start and ended up being ranked as high as number 6 in the AP poll in Class 4A. And unfortunately then the injuries mounted and it derailed our season. But the point is, Coach Mallard did come into the season with a great game plan and a much different looking offense that worked surprisingly well. Now here in 2020, I think most eyes among Doak City fans are going to be on Colin Nicewander. Of course, fans typically focus on the quarterback, but I'm going to be particularly interested in seeing if any young wide receivers manage to step up and emerge to fill the gap left by the injuries to Garrett Patton and Ricardo Dubecki. And if that happens, then I really think that Doak City has a fair shot to have a winning season this year. Last year went 4-6. 2 years ago, 5-5. 3 years ago, 2-8, which is the only losing record so far under Coach Mallard. Well, I'll tell you, these last few days that I've been doing the pregame preparation for tonight, I've been thinking a lot back to last year on opening night when we went all the way down to Nowata and got that thrilling 34-32 win, and in which so many different things went right for us. You know, we were a 4A team playing at a 6A school. Granted, it turned out to be an off year for Nowata, but still, whenever you're a 4A team and you beat a 6A team on the road, that is special. And then for Brady Nichols to have such a breakthrough game, you know, he had paid his dues as a backup, and he doesn't put up flashy numbers, but extremely efficient numbers. He completed 10 of 15 passes for 135 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. And then the 2 running backs who were previously unheralded, Jacob Maple and Josh Miller, each rushing for more than 100 yards and each scoring 2 touchdowns. It was just such a great team effort, and to enter the game with most Doak City fans having never heard of any of those players, and then to walk out of that stadium in victory with 3 new stars having emerged, it was just such a great feeling. And, you know, it was probably one of the top 10 wins in Doak City history, and I just hope that the sad way we ended our season, losing those last 5 games amid all the injuries, doesn't take away the luster from that sensational win on opening night a year ago. It's a win that we should always feel really good about. And, you know, it would be great if history repeated itself tonight and we got another win over Nowata, and at home this time. However, you know, it's important to note that a lot has changed in the last year. Like I said, Columbus North has returned 17 starters. They're opening the season ranked number 10 in the AP poll. And while we do return 8 starters on defense, our offense has a lot of question marks right now. But you never know. Maybe some unheralded players will step up and emerge as stars for us tonight. And if we do manage to pull off what would be a fairly big upset tonight over Nowata, it will send a message that Doak City football is definitely back on track and recovered from the way we finished the 2019 season. Well, Doak City has won the toss and they have elected to receive, and I think that's a good move. I think with this young, largely inexperienced offense, it's good to let them take the field first and just let them have the ball with the game tied where there's no pressure, and hopefully have a good, solid, methodical drive, get some first downs, and of course, most preferably get a score. But the important thing is to move the ball and establish some confidence. So now getting ready to kick off for Nowata is Colin Ebel. He is a senior. Last year kicked off 46 times, average kickoff of 43.9 yards with 4 touchbacks, and back deep to receive for the Giraffes, a couple of seniors, Clayton White and John Finch. Neither man has had a kickoff return yet in a varsity game. So now the ball's on the tee. Everybody's standing. Everybody's ready. Let the season begin. It's a deep kick by Edel, and it's fielded by White down at the 12, brought up to the 15, 20, 25, 30, and he cuts over to the left side of the field, and he's knocked out of bounds about the 34. So after a 22-yard return by Clayton White, Doak City will start off the game in fairly decent field position at their own 34. And now we'll get a first look of the season at the Doak City offense. A lot of question marks, particularly with junior quarterback Colin Nicewander, but a lot of starters from last year are back. So now the Giraffes line up. We've got Tristan Southwood, the fullback, Jacob Maple, the halfback, Clayton White to the left, and Zach Archer to the right. Colin Nicewander under center, takes the snap, drops back, screen pass over to the right, and it is incomplete. Jacob Maple was the intended receiver, and it looked like there was just a little bit of miscommunication. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Giraffes with 11:49 to go here in the first quarter. Now they line up again. Once again, Southwood the fullback, Maple the halfback, White to the left and Archer to the right. Now here's the snap, and we got a handoff to Maple, but they're right on top of him, and he's stuffed after a gain of just about 1. So, not a good way for the Giraffe offense to start off the new season, now already in a 3rd and 9 hole. Last year, after Josh Miller went out with that injury, one thing that really hurt the team down the stretch in those 5 losses to close out the season was they got stuck in so many 3rd and longs, and certainly that's something they want to get out of the habit of doing this year. So now Doak City lines up on 3rd and 9. We've got Archer and White lined up to the left, Southwood the fullback, Foster the halfback, Nicewander under center. The snap, Nicewander drops back to pass, doesn't see anybody open, takes it up the middle, and he's got a little room, but he is brought down well short of the first down. He picked up about 4 or 5 yards there. So it looks like the Giraffes are going to go 3 and out on their first possession of the new season. Now into the game to punt for Doak City is a very welcome returnee from last season, Morgan Hagee, who was a big star for the Giraffes 2 years ago as a sophomore, then was limited to only 2 games last year because of a broken leg. And really, it's pretty rare that a team loses a game because of an injured kicker, but I think Doak City lost 2, maybe 3 games last year because of his absence. Back deep to receive for the Possums is Wyatt Barks. He is a junior. And now here's the snap. It's a deep kick by Hagee. It bounces at the 35. Now takes a nice Doak City bounce inside the 25, inside the 20, and all the way down at the 17. So, after going 3 and out on to start off the game, the Doak City defense does get a break as a 43-yard punt by senior Morgan Hagee starts the Nowata offense back at their own 17. So now we get our first look of the game at the Nowata offense. It's an offense that is mostly the same as last season. They line up with Shane Anders to the left, Christian Brewington and Todd Epperson to the right, Robert Fox the running back, and Joe Alexander in shotgun. Takes a snap, Handoffs to Fox, and he's up the middle, but they're right on top of him. He's swarmed by about 4 or 5 Doak City tacklers, and they hold him to a gain of 3, which is not too bad. Fox averaged over 5 yards a carry last season and scored 14 touchdowns. He already has plenty of scholarship offers, but he's trying to continue to build his recruiting stock with a stellar senior season. Now 2nd and 7. Same formation for the Possums. There's a snap. Fakes the handoff to Fox. Now bullet pass up the middle, and it is caught by Epperson for the first down, and he is brought down at the 37. With 9:13 to go here in the first quarter, the clock stops to move the chains, following that 14-yard pass from Alexander to Epperson. So now the Possums hurry up into formation. We've got Anders and Epperson to the left, Brewington to the right. Fox the running back, Alexander under center, and here's the snap. Drops it back, and now a screen pass over to Fox, and he's got some room on the left side, and he's got the first down knocked out of bounds just shy of the 50. And so the last 2 plays for Nowata are receptions of 14 and 12 yards. Well, I'll tell you, last year when Nowata went 3-7, they were better than the record implied. 4 of those 7 losses were by 1 possession. And when you have that many close losses and you bring back almost your entire offense, your improved chemistry is likely going to mean that you're going to win a lot of the games that you would have lost a year earlier, and I expect that is what's going to happen with this Possums team. So now 8:57 to go here in the first quarter of this season opening game. Nowata has it 1st and 10 at their own 49. Line up with 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Fox the running back. Alexander in shotgun. Takes a snap. Looks downfield. Throws deep for Anders. Just overthrown. Had he made the catch, he likely would have been gone for the touchdown. Dayton Clements, one of our top returning defensive players, tried to cover Anders but just didn't have the speed. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Possums. They line up now. Anders and Epperson to the left, Brewington to the right, Fox the running back, Alexander in shotgun. Oh, and he drops the snap, and he falls on it, but that's going to be a loss of about 3 or 4 yards for the Possums, and that's a huge break for Doak City. After a first down on 2 consecutive plays, now Nowata finds itself in a 3rd and 13 hole. They line up, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, Fox the running back, Alexander in shotgun, takes the snap, gives it to Fox, who's up the middle. He's got about 6 or 7, but he's brought down well short of the first, so that's going to bring up 4th down and about 6 or 7. With all their offensive weapons, it wouldn't surprise me if they would... No, I thought they might go for it, but now the punting unit is coming out onto the field. Colin Edel is the punter for the Possums. Clayton White back deep to receive for Doak City. Here's the snap, and it's a sort of line drive kick. It bounces at about the 25, takes a large Nowata roll, and it's going to be down there at the 14. So that'll be a 33-yard punt there for Colin Ebel, and he averaged 33.5 for last season. Well, I'll tell you, after those 2 consecutive plays in which Nowata got first downs, first on the 14-yard pass to Epperson, then on the 12-yard pass to Fox, I was concerned, but then the drive stalled at that point, and now with the score still tied 0-0 and 7:47 to go here in the first quarter, Doak City's got the ball again here in this season opening game. So the Giraffes offense takes the field now, and they're going to line up. Once again, we got Clayton White to the left, Zach Archer to the right, Tristan Southwood the fullback, Jacob Maple the halfback, Colin Nicewander under center. Nicewander takes a snap, hands off to Maple, and this time he gets up for about 5 yards. Now, Maple struggled those last 3 games last year when he didn't have his backfield mate, Josh Miller. However, my hope is that Maple will have a few big gains here in the early going to draw enough attention that it'll leave some receivers open for Colin Nicewander, who again is making his first career varsity start. So 2nd and 5 for Doak City at their own 19. Now they line up again, same formation. Nicewander takes a snap, hands off this time to Southwood, and he plows forward, and he's going to be very close to the first down. Tristan Southwood a very powerful fullback at 5'11", 240, and they mark him down at the 22, so that will bring up 3rd and 2 for the Giraffes. So now they break huddle, they line up again. This time we have White to the left, along with junior Devin Spalding newly into the game. Then we have Zach Archer to the right. Maple the lone back. Nice wonder in shotgun this time. Takes it, hands off to Maple, but they stuffed him! They got him down for a short loss, so it will be 4th down for the Giraffes. And I guess with the 3 receivers, the Giraffes were expecting that it would be easy for Maple to get the 2 yards, but as it is now, it is 4th and 3, and it looks like it's going to be 2 possessions and 2 punts to start off on offense for the Giraffes. So now Morgan Hagee back to punt. His first one went for 43 yards. This one is another deep kick. Lands just past the 50, takes another Doak City bounce, and it goes up inside the 40, up to about the 37, where it is downed. So with 6:01 to go in the first quarter of this season opening game, still no score. Now the Possums will take over at their own 37, started their last drive at the 17, got 2 first downs, and then ended up punting. Well, Doak City's second offensive possession of the game was significantly better than their first. They got a couple of nice runs from Maple and Southwood, but then unfortunately Maple then got stuffed on 3rd and 2. So now Nowata lines up. They've got Anders to the left, Brewington to the right, Robert Fox and Randall Hudson in the backfield. Alexander in shotgun, takes a snap, fakes the handoff to Fox, dishes over to Hudson, and he's got some room down the right side, and he's out of bounds at about the 46, just shy of the first down. So Randall Hudson seeing his first action of the game. He is a senior who's played his career in the shadow of Robert Fox so far, but trying to have a good senior season in his own right and get some college consideration. And that's a good way to do it there with that 9-yard pickup. Going into this season, it looked like rushing defense was Doak City's greatest strength, but in this game they're up against quite possibly one of their 2 toughest cores of running backs this season, along with St. Basil's, who we'll be seeing here at Doak City in Week 4. So now 2nd and 1 for the Possums, 5:56 to go. 2nd and 1 at their own 46 here in the season opening game. Same formation now. Hand off to Fox. He plows his way forward. He doesn't get much, but he does have the first down. So for the 3rd time in this game, Nowata moves the chains. They now have it 1st and 10 at their own 48. Last time they got as far as the Doak City 47 before punting. So now the Possums break huddle. They got Anders to the left, Epperson and Brewington to the right. Fox the lone running back, Alexander in shotgun. He takes it, drops back. He's got plenty of time, and now he takes it up himself. He's got some room. He could get the first down. He does inside the 40, and he's knocked down at about the 37. So that's a pickup of 15 yards for quarterback Joe Alexander, who's played a very good all-around game so far. And I'll tell you, as much as Doak City would like to clamp down on Fox, you know, with these 3 wide receivers, all of whom started last season, it's going to be very hard to contain the Nowata rushing offense. This offense is just too deep and too balanced. So now, Anders and Brewington to the left, Epperson to the right, Fox the running back, Alexander in shotgun. He takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Fox, rolls to his left, got plenty of time, throws downfield for Epperson, and he makes the catch, and he's brought down immediately at about the 14. So for the first time tonight, one team gets into the other's red zone, and now Nowata in very good condition here, 1st and 10 at their own 14, and they've moved the ball relatively easily so far. Now Hudson coming back into the game, Epperson getting a little rest. He did get hit pretty hard on that tackle, though he does not appear to be hurt. So now they got Anders to the left, Brewington to the right, Fox and Hudson in the backfield, Alexander in shotgun. He takes it, and he hits Brewington on a slant pattern, and he is brought down inside the 10 at about the 7. That'll bring up 2nd and 3 for the Possums here at the Doak City 7. 4:38 to go here in the first quarter, still no score. As I said in the pregame show, Alexander did play in 4 games last season as a sophomore, and he clearly has good chemistry already with this offense. So now, same formation. Alexander takes the snap, Fakes the handoff to Fox. Rolls to his left. Now he fakes the pass. Takes it himself. He's got the first down and he dives. He's down to the 2. So that'll bring up first and goal. And now the Possums are knocking on the door of getting the first score of the season. Doak City has hung tough, but these two teams have each changed a lot since last season. Doak City was hit hard by a combination of graduation and injuries, while Nowata, quite the opposite. They return almost everybody, and it shows. 3-7 last year, but I have a feeling they're going to be 7-3 this year as an absolute minimum. So now here's Nowata, Anders to the left, Brewington to the right, Fox and Hudson the running backs, Alexander under center for what I believe is the first time tonight. Takes the snap, hands off to Fox. He dives at the end zone. Did he get in? I think he's going to be a little short. No signal yet. It was a good defensive effort. About 5 Giraffes rushed over to him. And no, he did not make it in. So good break for Doak City here. They're hanging tough, trying to keep the Possums out of the end zone. And I'll tell you, it would be a great victory here if we as much as held them to a field goal. So now, Nowata breaks huddle. Same formation now. Alexander under center. Quarterback sneak this time. Did he get in? I don't think he did. He didn't look like he gained anything at all. No, he did not. So now third and goal for Nowata at the 1. Here in this season opening game, still no score. This would be an amazing goal line stand. And of course, there's always the chance now that Nowata will anticipate their running backs getting heavy defensive attention and go for a short pass. But we'll see. So now the Possums line up. Same formation. Alexander fakes the handoff to Fox, gives it to Hudson. He dives in. He's into the end zone for the touchdown. So with 2:29 to go here in the first quarter of the first game of the season, the Nowata Possums have jumped out to a 6-0 lead over your Doak City Giraffes with the conversion pending. The score coming on a 1-yard touchdown rush by senior Randall Hudson. So now on to attempt the extra point for Nowata is Colin Ebel. The senior last year went 28 for 31 on extra points as well as 3 for 6 on field goals, with a long of 30. He's in stance. It's a good snap. The kick is up, and it is good. So with 2:29 to go in the first quarter of this season opening game, your Doak City Giraffes trail the Nowata Possums by a score of 7-0 here on Doak City Radio. My name is Kent Wallace. It's an honor and pleasure to be the voice of Doak City Giraffes athletics and to have you in my audience. Well, I'll tell you, this will be Doak City's third possession of the game, and I think it's important that they just relax. I mean, right now they're still only down 1 possession, and I think what they need to do is simply sustain a drive, get a few first downs, hopefully get the score and tie up the game, but mostly they need to establish some good offensive momentum. And they threatened to do that on the last drive with the solid runs from Maple and Southwood, but then Maple got dropped for that 1-yard loss on 3rd and 2. So anyway, once again, we've got Clayton White and John Finch back deep to receive for the Giraffes. Ebel's kick is deep, taken by White at the 10. He's up to the 15, 20, cuts over to the right, 25, 30, and he's brought down at the 32. So both of White's returns tonight have gone for 22 yards. So the Giraffes start in fairly decent field position. And I think if they just can get a couple of first downs, get into Possum territory, I think that will be a huge first step with this offense, which is still adjusting to a new quarterback and then to the absence of Garrett Patton and Ricardo Dubecki, their top 2 wide receivers from last season, both of whom are out with injuries. So now the Quakers line up once again. Clayton White to the left, Zach Archer to the right, Tristan Southwood the fullback, Jacob Maple the halfback, Colin Nicewander under center. Nicewander takes the snap, hands off to Maple, finds a little hole. He gets up for about 4 or 5. No, he just got up limping and he is hopping off the field right now. That is not a good sign for our leading rusher from last season. And now John Finch quickly coming into the game for the Giraffes, but this is really going to shake things up. So now 2nd and 6 for Doak City at their own 36. So now they line up everybody in the same position except for Finch replacing Maple at halfback now. Nicewander takes a snap, fakes the handoff to Finch, rolls to his right, got time. Now he throws up the middle of the field and he's got a completion. That's Zach Archer there in Nowata territory. He's brought down at the 47, so the Giraffes move the chains for the first time tonight, and that is a very good sign, and I applaud them for keeping their composure and doing it right after their best offensive player got injured. But anyway, yeah, when Maple got up after getting that 4-yard gain, he looked like he didn't want to put any weight on his right ankle. Hopefully it is not a serious injury. We will, of course, keep you posted as we get updates. So now the Quakers line up. We've got Clayton White to the left. We have Zach Archer and Devin Spalding to the right. John Finch, the running back. Colin Nicewander in shotgun. Takes a snap. Gives it to Finch, and he is up the middle for about 2. And that is the first ever varsity carry for John Finch, coming in for the hopefully not seriously injured Jacob Maple. And it is now 2nd and 8 for the Giraffes at the Nowata 35. So now, same formation. Nicewander takes a snap, hands off to Finch again, and this time he plows his way up for about 3. So John Finch, not doing a spectacular job, but doing a competent job, now has the Giraffes 3rd and 5 at the Nowata 33, now under 40 seconds to go here in this first quarter, with Nowata leading 7-0. So now the Quakers break huddle, line up, same formation again. Now this time, Nicewander takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Finch, rolls to his left, looks downfield, a short pass now to White. He's got the completion, he's got the first down, and he's inside the 30. So now with 12 seconds to go here in the first quarter, the clock will stop to move the chains, and it is 1st and 10 for Doak City at the Nowata 27, following a 6-yard completion from Colin Nicewander to Clayton White. So now the clock resumes. The Giraffes don't have to run another play in this quarter, but it looks like they will. They line up with the same formation, maybe trying to induce an offsides penalty, but no, they don't. The time runs out. So, after 1 quarter of play here in the season opener, your score, Nowata 7, Doak City 0. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors on Doak City Radio. The Doak City High School Athletic Department simply would not be able to operate without the financial support of our business partners. We would like to recognize and thank them for their generosity. The official health provider to the Giraffes, Doak Regional Health. Diamond Partners, Bestway Drywall and North Salem State Bank. Platinum Partners, Allen Irrigation Company, CJ's Pizza, Dunn Insurance Agency, Jill and Ian Bell's ExpertRealtors.net, and Global Construction Management. Silver Partners, Electric Plus, Bassett Services Heating and Cooling, and Clean Sensation Auto Detail, and Bronze Partner, Endeavor Communications. Thank you, business partners. Your support of the student athletes of Doak City High School is greatly appreciated.